Fear is starting to creep back into the marketplace. So this week, we're going to take the opportunity to talk about how utilizing financial planning can hopefully give you a little comfort and maybe sleep a little better at night. Talking about some of the fear that's creeping into the marketplace, let's highlight a couple of the areas that we think are driving that. So this week, just some of the data that's coming out. COVID cases are up in some areas of the country, are really experiencing massive new outbreaks. And unfortunately, a lot of those areas that are experiencing those outbreaks also drive a lot of the GDP growth in this country. Also, we're looking at economic forecasts that say initial jobless claims this week will be above 1.3 million. That'll be the 14th week in a row. That's considered unprecedented. Also, we have concerns that this will continue on for some time to come as we continue to navigate what this pandemic looks like and how is the economy going to respond. So to that point, fear is certainly creeping back in. After a 2-month lull in the markets where things seem to really stabilize off of our lows in March, and we had a nice market recovery, we're starting to see that volatility again. So I know this week I've had a lot of conversations with clients where that fear is starting to permeate their consciousness. So let's talk about some of the things that we can do to help navigate that fear and hopefully help you sleep a little better at night. So financial planning, I've talked about it a lot in the past. You know, it's a very broad topic. So when it comes to your specific financial plan and some of the areas that you need to be looking at right now, to me, it all starts with what are some of the silver linings of a pandemic like this? Tax planning. There's 2 things that we could be looking at right now that for some of you may be very helpful to consider. One would be tax loss harvesting. This could be an ideal time to take some gains off of the table with some of those areas of your portfolio that you've held for a really long time and offset that by utilizing tax loss harvesting. Everybody's in a different scenario, so that's something very specific to talk with your advisor about. The other area where you may want to consult your CPA is the potential for Roth conversions. If any of you out there have experienced a drop in income through this pandemic, or for others looking to see how we can take advantage of financial planning and tax planning during this time frame, a Roth conversion is something that can really be utilized effectively for some as we are in a lower tax environment. Other areas of your plan that you may want to focus on right now is readdressing goals. So leading into this pandemic, goals were probably fairly set in stone, and as we've seen, a lot of things have changed. So understanding within your life truly what are the needs, the wants, and the wishes of your long-term financial goal setting, and understanding if there's something that maybe isn't appropriate to do this year and needs to be pushed down the road, or if those goals have changed. Last but not least, a real specific area of the plan that I think is important to address right now is understanding how risk within your portfolio fits into your financial plan. I talked about this around a month ago when we said, hey, time to take a breath and really look at, do we want to experience the same ride in our portfolio that we just did moving forward? For a lot of you who went into COVID with a strong financial plan, nothing has changed. Market volatility certainly hasn't affected the long-term probability of success that you have within your financial plan. For others, there may be some things that need to be readdressed, but an area that you can really control is the risk that you have built into your portfolio. So it may be a good time to address whether or not you want that risk profile to change, or whether you're comfortable with the long-term outlook of your portfolio and how it fits into your financial plan. Obviously, we know that these times have been tough, and as we do see this fear creep back into, whether it's the mainstream media or financial markets, we know we have to look for those silver linings and keep a good outlook on what we have coming down the road. This too shall pass. It's something that we will all certainly get through together, but in the meantime, it's a great time to look at your financial plan and determine what you can keep the same and maybe some areas that you need to make some changes. Thanks for tuning in this week, and we'll talk to you soon.